Hey guys, I just want to talk about the importance of making time to just be alone with yourself. When you are alone with yourself, right, and you're not always in a social setting, you start introspecting. So you start reflecting on your life. You start thinking about what's important, what isn't important. You start, when you are alone, you begin to have a clearer head because you don't have all of these opinions and judgments and thoughts from other people coming at you, right? And your brain is trying to analyze it, everything, all these thoughts and opinions and stuff, right? You're away from that. So when you're alone, your brain is in a very calm state, right? It's not in an active state where it's trying to comprehend everything around you. And when that happens, you really start to understand a lot of things. You really start to understand a lot of things about yourself. You start to see things for what it is. So I'll give you an example. I have a friend, right, who I've known for quite a while. We talk quite a lot, right? Even though we're far apart, we still talk a lot through, video call and through the phone and messaging and stuff back and forth, right? And this has been happening almost on an everyday basis, right? I'm sending him, funny pictures or memes, or we're just discussing about a certain topic, going back and forth about a certain topic. And I felt like my energy was constantly being taken. I feel like my thoughts were constantly, I felt like his thoughts were constantly going in through my head, and I'm trying to analyze his opinion and his thoughts and stuff. I'm trying to come up with a decision on how to respond every single time, and I felt like it was using up a lot of my energy because it was too consistent. We were talking so much. It was too much socializing, unnecessary over socializing all the time through the phone and text. And once I took a break from that, once I just put my phone down and I kind of just took the time to just relax and not have to constantly react or respond, that's when I realized something. So I realized that I was gaining dopamine hits from those messages and responses from my friend all the time. So he would tell me like a crazy story that happened to him, right? And I'm like, oh wow, that's nuts. And obviously you're getting like that. You're getting that. Your brain is getting stimulated. You're getting stimulated by that conversation, right? And then you tell him about your stories that have happened, and it's back and forth. Or you talk about a deep topic about religion or politics or anything of that nature, right? But when you take a break, when I took a break from that, I realized that wow, like this was, since we were talking so much, it was like I was only messaging him not because out of authenticity. It was more of I just wanted to react. I wanted to respond. I just wanted to keep reacting. And I was getting addicted to hear, about the stories and like the conversations that we were having. It was becoming an addiction, right? I was waiting for his response. I sent him a response. I was waiting for him to reply. And it was just back and forth. And you're getting those like dopamine hits, like, oh yeah, so he's getting my point. He's getting my perspective across. So I'm getting bonus points from that. Or we're disagreeing about something and then we're more reluctant to reply more constantly. And then yeah, it's crazy because once I took a break from that, I realized that it was just very, I don't know. It was just very like, it was like a competition. It was very competitive, just going back and forth, and it was just it was all just dopamine hits. It wasn't like genuine like conversations in the sense that you haven't talked for so long, and then once you talk again, It's like you miss each other. You miss like talking to that person. You miss seeing that person. So when you start talking again after a long time, the conversations become more genuine, and you're not searching for those dopamine hits. I don't know if like what I'm saying is like you can understand what I'm trying to say, but when you're constantly socializing, you're constantly talking to your friends on a daily basis, and you don't really have much time to reflect, you don't really see things for what it is. Like, you don't really see it for what it is. And being alone, like being on your own, it can become addictive, right? And addictive in a good way, not in a bad way. A good way is that you become more productive, you become more creative as a person, you come up with new ideas because your ideas are original, because you're not being influenced by the people around you. So whenever you come up with an idea, whether I want to start a YouTube channel, or I want to start writing a book, or I want to do this, or I want to start this skill, you're doing it because you want to do it. You're not doing it because other people are doing it. People that you know or people that you don't know. And when you are by yourself, and when you come up with these ideas or these things that you want to do, you feel much better about yourself. You become more confident as a person, because these ideas and these actions that you are taking in your life, you're doing them because you genuinely want to do them, and it's authentic to you. It's original to you. You're not a duplicate. If you know what I'm trying to say. And of course, it's obviously important to socialize in society. We are social creatures, obviously. But I believe in like the 10%, 90% rule. That 10% socialization is fine, and 90% of the time you're on your own. You're just doing your own thing. And I think that ratio is the best to be like your overall successful, to be your most authentic self. I think that is the key ratio. If you're socializing too much, it's very difficult to find that niche, or find that thing that you're truly passionate about, or that makes you truly yourself. Because when you socialize with people all the time, you kind of become like them. I don't know if you've noticed this, but you talk like them. Or you start saying slang words like them, or you start thinking a certain way. And the thing is, it's a very like subconscious thing to do. You don't realize that you're doing it because you don't want to start conflicts. Your brain does not want to start like conflicts with people that you care about. So you just tend to naturally just fall on their line, on their plane, when you socialize with them too much, right? And obviously sometimes there's nothing wrong with that, but as long as you realize the importance of having time for yourself, and if you don't realize that the benefits and the perks behind being on your own, and being with your thoughts, and being able to do your own thing on your own, you'll never really get to where you want to be in life. Like, you'll never be your most authentic self, I believe. I strongly believe this. Like, I have so many friends, right? Well, I can't say so many friends, because, friends dwindle as you get older. So I know so many people that have this large social circle, right? And when I look at the group, like when I look at them from like an observative point of view, when I'm just observing them, I realize that they're all the same. They all think the same, they all dress the same, they all perform the same acts. For example, if someone in your friend circle is smoking, right? Chances are that the other people that they hang around with are also smokers as well. It's crazy, because I kind of feel sorry for those types of people that don't want to delve out of that group, like the group that they're so comfortable with, because they'll never be able to see what's on the other side. Like, they'll only know like one side of themselves, or like, you know. And it's insane. Like, in my city back home, like, everyone is just in their own bubble. Everyone is just in their own social crew. And obviously there's nothing wrong with it, but like, if you don't take the opportunity to talk to other people from, like, say, from different backgrounds or different career paths, right? If you don't have like another little social circle, right, or another little group, or how can you know what's truly right for you, what's truly wrong for you? How would you know that? Because you're only seeing one side, right? And the remedy to that is to be on your own. As I said, if you're on your own, if you just take the time to just be by yourself, be with yourself, you become more observant. You start realizing what's right for you and what isn't. Yeah, it's insane how that works. But I mean, it works for me. That 10% and that 90% rule. 10% socializing, 90% on your own. Okay, thank you for listening. See you next time.